Dining Chicago has been attracting its fair share of celebrities these days, but not many can match this character, Booker Noah, grandson of the famed Kentucky bourbon maker Jim Beam. Dining Chicago was lucky enough to spend a few precious moments with Booker Noah. We're at a bourbon tasting today where members of the press and members of the Kentucky Bourbon Circle have been invited to taste small batch bourbons. We're with Jim Beam's great-grandson,
yeah.
A man so famous they named a bourbon after him, Booker Noah. Good to see you.
Glad to be with you.
Tell us, what is bourbon?
Well, bourbon is truly American. It's required 51% of it has to be corn. It has to be aged at least 2 years in new charred white oak barrels.
Now the French have their cognac and we have our bourbon.
That's right. So Congress declared bourbon the American spirit back in the 60s. And so it can be made anywhere in America, but it has to be made in America now.
Okay. How did he get into business?
Oh, he got in business through his father, and his father through his father, and so forth. Jim Beam was fourth generation.
Tell me how you make bourbon. What do you do?
Yeah, well, first of all, you'll take your limestone water,
Get your corn,
rye, and malted barley. That means sprouted barley. And then there's the wood that you use to age it in. It goes through the wood. But you take the water, start the agitation, put your corn in it. Of course, all these.
This is like a big mix master we're talking about.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Okay.
You have to have at least 51% of the corn, and then you cook that and you boil that. What we say, scald it. It breaks it down, breaks your starches down, and then you cool it on down and put your rye in, and then that's cooked at a lower temperature. And at an even lower temperature, here comes your barley malt in, your sprouted barley. All right, and then from there you have this what we call mash, and this mash is then transferred or pumped over into a fermenting vat where the yeast is at. And I might add that our yeast is the same yeast. The yeast we're using today is one that my grandfather Jim Beam cultured 60 years ago, right when it started up after Prohibition. The way I enjoy it, when you swallow it down, let it rest, let it linger, breathe it up through your nostrils, and it's the thing.
What about your friend's wife was used to cooking with 80 proof? What happened?
Oh, my wife.
It was your wife? Oh.
Yeah, she used Jim Beam. So we have a dish. She has one called pork and beam, and she has a little granite roaster, and she puts it in the oven and cooks the ribs down in it, and then she'll add the Booker or the Jim Beam to it for about 15 minutes, and gets the gravy in, and it really flavors up the pork. And she saw a bottle of Booker's over there.
That's 107?
125.
125,
okay. Straight out of the barrel.
Okay.
It just hasn't never been touched. And she put that on it, and as you warm alcohol, the flash point decreases the warmer it gets. So she put it back in the oven, and the 80 proof versus the 125, whoom, it blew the oven door open. Remember, take it down, just that lingering flavor. Here's to Jim Beam.
And Booker Noah. And Dining Chicago.